Have you ever felt that heavy aching sensation in your legs when you're just trying to take a simple walk? Maybe your feet feel colder than the rest of your body, or you notice swelling that just won't go away. These aren't just signs of getting older. They can be early warnings that your circulation isn't working the way it should. Poor blood flow to the legs and feet isn't just uncomfortable. It can increase the risk of serious health problems like peripheral artery disease, blood clots, or even heart complications if it's ignored. And here's the part many people don't realize. What you put on your plate every day can either make the problem worse or completely change the story of your health. Today, we're going to talk about a surprising way to clean out your arteries and boost circulation to your legs naturally. There's one vegetable in particular that scientists have been calling nature's blood vessel relaxer, and it might just be sitting quietly in the produce aisle of your grocery store. I promise by the end of this video, you'll see this humble food in a whole new light. But before we jump in, I want to ask you something simple. If you've ever struggled with cold feet, leg cramps, or that heavy, tired feeling in your calves, drop a number 1 in the comments. And if you're lucky enough not to feel these symptoms, type 0. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you'll never miss another health tip from us. Now, let's open the door to the very first powerful food that can start transforming the way blood flows through your body. The first vegetable that deserves our attention is beetroot. A deep red root that carries an extraordinary secret for circulation. Scientists have discovered that beets are loaded with natural nitrates. And when you eat them, your body turns those nitrates into nitric oxide. This tiny molecule is like a gentle whisper to your blood vessels, telling them to relax and widen. The result is smoother blood flow, less pressure on your arteries, and more oxygen reaching your muscles and brain. Think of your arteries like pipes that have become narrow over time. Beetroot helps open them back up so everything flows freely again. One study published by the American Heart Association showed that a single glass of beet juice could lower blood pressure within just a few hours. For older adults, that can mean less strain on the heart and more comfort in the legs. Another trial at Wake Forest University found that seniors who drank beet juice before exercise had brain scans showing activity patterns more like younger adults, almost as if circulation had been renewed. In real life, the benefits can feel very down to earth. Imagine being able to walk around the block without that heavy, dragging sensation in your calves, or noticing that your feet don't feel so icy at night. That's the kind of everyday relief beets can bring. The best part is they're versatile and easy to prepare. Roast them until tender for a warm side dish. Blend them into a smoothie with an apple or orange to soften the earthy taste, or grate them raw into a crisp salad. However you enjoy them, consistency is what matters most. So, the next time you're at the store, don't walk past that pile of ruby red roots. Adding them to your meals a few times a week might be one of the simplest yet most powerful steps you can take toward stronger circulation. And as we move forward, there's another leafy green waiting to show you how it can also keep your blood vessels open and healthy. Spinach is the calm green protector that quietly keeps your arteries strong and elastic. Spinach is incredibly rich in natural nitrates, which your body converts into nitric oxide, a compound that relaxes and widens blood vessels. This simple process helps improve circulation, lower blood pressure, and reduce strain on the heart. But spinach doesn't stop there. It's also loaded with vitamin K, which strengthens artery walls and helps prevent dangerous calcification, and vitamin A, which supports healthy tissues and protects cells from damage. Scientific studies have backed this up. A clinical trial published in the Journal of Nutrition showed that eating a single serving of spinach could noticeably lower blood pressure in just a few hours. Another long-term study from Denmark revealed that people who ate spinach and similar leafy greens on a regular basis had a significantly lower risk of developing heart disease. Researchers explained that this protective effect came from the way spinach supports vascular function, helping blood move more easily throughout the body. Think about how simple it could be to add spinach into your meals. Instead of just using plain lettuce, layer spinach leaves into your sandwiches for extra crunch and nutrition. You can toss a handful into a warm bowl of chicken soup or stir it quickly into pasta as it finishes cooking. One of the most comforting ways to enjoy spinach is lightly sautéed with a little olive oil and garlic. Soft, flavorful, and full of heart-protecting nutrients. The taste is mild, which makes it easy to blend into almost any dish without overwhelming the flavors you already enjoy. Imagine how different life could feel after months of nourishing your body with foods like this. You might find yourself walking farther with less fatigue, noticing that your feet no longer feel as icy in the evenings, or simply enjoying a steadier kind of energy that carries you through the day. Spinach may look like just another leafy green, but its steady, powerful impact on your circulation makes it a true ally in protecting your health. And as we move forward, let's take a closer look at another green. This time tougher in texture, but bursting with antioxidants that can also help your blood flow freely and your arteries stay clear. You know, there's one vegetable that has been called a superfood for years and for a good reason. It's kale. Maybe you've seen it at the grocery store sitting right next to spinach with its curly dark green leaves. Many people think it's just another leafy green, but kale has some pretty special powers when it comes to keeping your blood flowing freely. What makes kale stand out is its sky-high level of antioxidants. These are the little defenders in your body that fight against oxidative stress, which is one of the silent culprits behind clogged arteries. A study published in the journal Nutrition Research found that people who ate more antioxidant-rich vegetables like kale had better artery elasticity, which means their blood vessels stayed flexible and less likely to harden. That's a big deal when we're talking about circulation in the legs and brain. Kale is also loaded with vitamin K, which helps your blood clot properly, but also works together with vitamin C and kale to keep your blood vessels strong. Think of it like reinforcing the walls of a tunnel so the traffic can move smoothly without cracks or blockages. For example, just 1 cup of raw kale gives you more than 500% of the daily recommended vitamin K and about 70% of your vitamin C. That's more than enough to give your circulation a real boost. Now, if you're wondering how to add kale into your day without making it boring, the good news is you don't need to eat a huge salad bowl of it every time. You can toss a handful into your morning smoothie, sauté it with a bit of olive oil and garlic, or even bake it into crispy kale chips. So, while kale may look humble, it's like giving your arteries a green shield against damage and inflammation. And if kale seems a bit too strong in taste, don't worry. Our next vegetable brings in a gentler flavor while still packing a serious punch for artery health. Most of us grew up with it on our dinner plates, sometimes overcooked and mushy. But when you know what it really does inside your body, you might look at those little green feuettes with new respect. Broccoli is rich in vitamin C, which doesn't just support your immune system, but also plays a key role in keeping your blood vessels flexible. Imagine your arteries like garden hoses. Vitamin C keeps the walls strong so they don't stiffen or crack. Just 1 cup of steamed broccoli gives you over 100% of your daily vitamin C. And that's not something to overlook when you're trying to improve circulation. But broccoli's magic doesn't stop there. It contains sulforaphane, a compound that scientists at Johns Hopkins University discovered could switch on the body's natural ability to protect itself from inflammation and oxidative stress. That means less irritation inside your arteries, which in turn lowers your risk of plaque building up and blocking blood flow to your legs. For someone dealing with poor circulation, this could mean fewer cramps, less heaviness, and a much better quality of life. Fiber is another gift broccoli gives us. It works like a broom inside your digestive system, helping clear out excess cholesterol before it has a chance to stick to your artery walls. There was even a study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition that showed people who ate cruciferous vegetables like broccoli had lower levels of bad LDL cholesterol compared to those who didn't. That's direct proof that what you put on your plate shows up in your blood work. Now, the best part about broccoli is how versatile it is. You can steam it lightly, toss it into soups, roast it with a drizzle of olive oil, or even chop it raw into a salad for a nice crunch. One older gentleman I know started adding broccoli to his lunch 3 times a week, and he noticed his legs didn't feel as heavy during his evening walks. It wasn't overnight magic, but over a few months, he felt a real difference. So, while broccoli may not seem as trendy as kale, it quietly works behind the scenes to keep your arteries clean and your circulation flowing. And speaking of greens that pack a hidden surprise, the next vegetable is a peppery little leaf that adds both flavor and power to your blood vessels. Now, if you've ever ordered a fancy salad at a restaurant and noticed a peppery little green mixed in, chances are you've already met arugula. Some people call it rocket. And while it may look delicate, it carries a surprising strength when it comes to supporting your circulation. Arugula is one of the vegetables richest in natural nitrates. Once inside your body, those nitrates are converted into nitric oxide, a compound that helps your blood vessels relax and widen. Researchers at the University of Exeter in England actually found that eating nitrate-rich vegetables like arugula could improve blood flow and even boost exercise performance by helping muscles use oxygen more efficiently. For older adults, that doesn't mean running a marathon. It could simply mean being able to walk longer distances without that frustrating feeling of heavy or tired legs. But arugula doesn't stop at nitrates. It's also a solid source of magnesium and potassium, two minerals your arteries absolutely love. Magnesium helps the muscles in your vessel walls stay relaxed, while potassium balances out sodium levels in your body, keeping blood pressure from climbing too high. In fact, just 2 cups of fresh arugula provide a healthy dose of both minerals without loading you with calories. It's like giving your circulation a double layer of protection. Adding arugula to your meals is almost effortless. You can sprinkle it over a sandwich instead of lettuce, toss it into a pasta dish, or mix it with olive oil and lemon for a quick side salad. I've heard from a woman in her late 60s who started swapping iceberg lettuce for arugula a few times a week. Within a couple of months, she noticed her legs didn't swell as much in the evenings, and she had more energy during her daily walks. Small changes like this often add up in the most powerful ways. So, while arugula might look like a fancy garnish, it's truly a secret ally for your arteries. And if you're wondering what's next, the upcoming vegetable is known for its elegant stalks. But behind that elegance lies a serious ability to fight inflammation inside your blood vessels. There's something elegant about asparagus. Those slender green stalks that show up in springtime. But beyond looking fancy on the dinner plate, asparagus has a powerful way of protecting your arteries. One of its biggest strengths is reducing inflammation inside the vessel walls. You see, when blood vessels stay irritated for too long, they become rough on the inside. And that's exactly where cholesterol and plaque like to stick. Asparagus works almost like a gentle healer, calming down that inflammation and giving your arteries a smoother surface for blood to flow through. What makes asparagus especially unique is its content of B vitamins, particularly folate. Folate helps lower homocysteine, a compound in your blood that when it gets too high increases the risk of blood clots and artery damage. In fact, researchers from Tufts University found that people with higher folate intake had significantly lower levels of homocysteine, which meant their risk for circulation problems was reduced. That's not just theory. It's measurable change happening inside the blood. On top of that, asparagus is packed with fiber and antioxidants, which team up to reduce cholesterol buildup and keep your vessels elastic. Think of it like oiling the hinges of a door so it opens smoothly every time for circulation. That smoothness translates into less resistance, which means your legs and brain get the oxygen and nutrients they need without struggle. Adding asparagus to your meals can be both simple and delicious. You can roast it with olive oil and a sprinkle of Parmesan, steam it lightly with lemon juice, or even add it into omelets for breakfast. So, while asparagus might seem like just a seasonal vegetable, it offers year-round benefits for anyone trying to improve circulation and protect their arteries. And if asparagus feels like a refined choice, wait until you hear about our final vegetable. A tiny but mighty member of the cabbage family that carries a surprising punch against poor circulation. They may look like tiny cabbages, but don't let their size fool you. Brussels sprouts are packed with nutrients that give your arteries powerful protection. One of the biggest gifts they offer is vitamin K, which plays a dual role in circulation. On the one hand, it helps your blood clot properly when you get a cut, but more importantly, it keeps calcium from being deposited inside your artery walls. Too much calcium in the wrong place can make vessels stiff, almost like pipes filling with cement. By keeping that from happening, vitamin K helps your arteries stay flexible and open. Just half a cup of cooked Brussels sprouts gives you more than your daily requirement of vitamin K, which is incredible for such a small vegetable. Another hero compound inside Brussels sprouts is kemperol, a strong antioxidant that has been studied for its anti-inflammatory effects. Researchers published in Carcinogenesis showed that kemperol reduced oxidative stress in blood vessels, lowering the kind of silent inflammation that often leads to plaque buildup. It's like having a shield against the slow, invisible damage that makes circulation worse with age. Combine that with their rich supply of vitamin C and other antioxidants, and you've got a vegetable that fights on multiple fronts to keep blood moving. And let's not forget fiber. Brussels sprouts are loaded with it, which means they help lower cholesterol levels in the same way broccoli does by preventing excess cholesterol from sticking around in your system. A diet rich in fiber has been linked and again to healthier arteries, and adding Brussels sprouts is an easy way to boost that intake without relying on supplements. The best part is these little cabbages can actually be quite delicious when cooked right. Roasting them in the oven with a drizzle of olive oil brings out a nutty sweetness that surprises a lot of people who grew up hating them. One woman I spoke with in her 60s said she avoided Brussels sprouts her entire life, but when her daughter roasted them with balsamic glaze, she became a fan. Within a few months of adding them into her weekly meals, her cholesterol numbers improved and she felt lighter on her feet during daily walks. So, even though Brussels sprouts may be tiny, they hold big power for your circulation. And now that we've gone through all 7 of these incredible vegetables, it's time to bring everything together with a warm reminder of why these small choices matter so much for your health and your future. At the end of the day, taking care of your circulation doesn't have to be complicated or overwhelming. Sometimes it's as simple as choosing the right vegetables and letting them quietly do their work inside your body. Each bite of beetroot, kale, broccoli, or Brussels sprouts is like sending a little wave of support straight to your arteries, helping your legs feel lighter and your energy return. I want you to remember that even small changes done consistently can lead to big improvements over time. Think of it as giving yourself the gift of easier walks, stronger heartbeats, and more moments to enjoy with the people you love. If this video gave you hope or an idea to try, type a 1 in the comments. And if you're not ready, a simple 0 is fine, too. Either way, don't forget to subscribe to Healthy Lifestyle so you won't miss more helpful tips made just for you. Here's to healthier days ahead, one step and one bite at a time.